We've been here since September the 14th, 1996, so that's nearly 16 years. 17 years this year.
Why did you choose this house?
We chose it because it was a nice friendly area. They really liked the size of the house, but mainly it was a garden. We loved this because it was a big garden, but liked where it was.
So when did the current neighbours move in?
They moved in 2 years ago just now, just about this time 2 years ago.
So where did the problems start? Tell me from the beginning what's happened.
Problem started right the very first weekend they moved in. We spoke to them, they'd been in maybe a week or so, we were going out that night. My daughter had some friends in and they come in and complained about the noise from the television, which I find quite difficult to understand because there is a tunnel separating the two houses. So it probably started from the word go.
Has it been consistent?
Everything was fine after that up until we thought we had the decency to tell them that they were having a party for my son's 16th birthday in the summer of that year. It was a beautiful night. We did warn them because we knew they had a new wee baby. They've got 3 young kids, and they asked us at 9:30 how long we were going to be in the garden for. To which my husband replied, it's his 16th birthday party, not his 6th. We brought them inside at 11 o'clock, but basically it kind of went downhill from there.
Okay, so what's been the peak of the trouble?
Oh, the peak was probably as well the worst of the time was that same year in the July. We had a family party that night in Fair Weekend for my birthday, and also another couple of birthdays in the family. And they phoned the police came to my door at 10 to 10 at night. They were complaining about the noise from the back garden, albeit that it was chucking rain and it was only people out in the gazebo having a cigarette. Since then I've had the police at the door another twice. Once at New Year this year, and then again a couple of weeks ago, because clearly by this point we knew they were leaving, they were moving out. But they've been at the door on numerous occasions complaining. Seems to be when they know that we're out. Concerns me that they do it when they know my daughter and her pals are in the zone. And we've even caught him, been told that he's been standing with his ear pressed up near enough against the front of our house to see if he can hear noise to give him cause for complaint.
So what have the police said about it?
The police both, every time they came, were very apologetic that they had to come to the door and said they couldn't hear a thing. Asked us politely to keep the noise out the back garden and maybe keep the windows closed, but as far as they're concerned we weren't causing any excess noise or anything else. They were very, very apologetic, especially at New Year, given the fact that it was only 5 to 11. They always seem to claim that they've got a sick child. But the kids look perfectly well to me and sound perfectly well to me when they're out playing in the garden at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so do you think that you get enough, like just as much noise from them as they do from you?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we have them here now at the Hammer in the summer. Every Saturday morning in life I'm waiting with, I think what's intentional, the kids out playing right outside the front of our house, knowing fine well that we're all working during the week and we have got kids and we lie late, but that's family life. I would never dream of going and complaining about that because that's just different generations, ages of kids. That's what happens.
Then have any other neighbours complained about you as being too noisy?
Never. Absolutely. I mean, we're friendly with all the other neighbours. There's neighbours across there who on occasion have made an awful lot more noise than us, and there must be more noise comes from the park on the weekend, but I never hear or see of them seeming to bother about that. So there was one night as well, I believe there was fireworks let off down the park and we were basically getting accused of letting out all fireworks at 11 o'clock in the morning because we were idiots and just to annoy them. But I don't do fireworks, I hate them, but we get the blame of that as well.
Okay, so have you ever tried to resolve it between the two of you?
No, we have still up until recently went out. The last party we had was Leah's birthday and we did go out and even tell them again, even though we didn't have to, that we were having another party. But they still complained about that, whether or not we tell them or not, they still feel the need to call. In fact, that was another night they called the police. That was in October this year, so it's been 3 times this year, 3 times since October.
Right. I know how much hassle antisocial neighbours can be. The guy next door to me, he's a nightmare, right? All started about a year, maybe 18 months ago. It was in the summer. I was standing facing the window ironing and suddenly I saw a book flying out next door's window. And it was a shoe. He was just chucking things out the window. Then a few days later, he must have made cheesy pasta or something. He basically threw the full bowl out of the window into the communal garden. Half of it was smeared down his window and it was left outside for days on end. The next incident was a few weeks later. Took 6 officers to arrest him. He assaulted one of them on the way out the flat. Ended up spending 6 months in prison for assaulting a police officer. While he was in prison, he'd left his window open so pigeons would get into his flat and nested there. The smell was horrendous, and I can only imagine the mess the place was in by the time he got out of the jail. He always plays loud music at silly times of the night as well. I mean, one night during the Christmas holidays this year, he started playing his music at 5 in the morning. I woke up because of the noise of it, and it was like I'd put my head inside a speaker. I started keeping a diary of when he was being disruptive, but it was hard to keep up because the noise and his behaviour was so sporadic. His new thing seemed to be that if I put my stereo on and he can hear it, he puts his on too. He always turns it up louder as if he's trying to drown mine out or play it. Eventually I just turn it off because I can't be bothered with silly games. I think it's some kind of competition. If he was a young guy who's recently got his own place for the first time, I would understand a bit more, but he must be around 46 or 47. He should know how to behave by now. I've never phoned the police because I don't want to bring trouble to my doorstep. I don't want to phone the police on him and then wake up the next morning, my car's been keyed or my window's been smashed. He always seemed to be drinking and playing loud music on a Thursday night, and I always wonder if that's gyro day because he definitely doesn't work. It's a shame because it's a really lovely area apart from one man.